All right. Well, part three, less brashy and less unapologetic because we're kind of scared. If we have eternal youth, things are gonna be like, there's so many implications. Like, I don't know what all the implications are. Um, it's scary actually. What if we'd had eternal youth? It's gonna be scary, yo. I mean, I have these red glasses on, and they are from Helsing. That inspired me to buy this off of Amazon Smile or smile.amazon.com. Man, Alucard. The guy with these red glasses who's shooting up everybody in Helsing is the protagonist. He's the hero. I'm like, what the heck? He looks hella evil to me. I mean, I kind of glimpsed hell. I mean, I think I'm innocent. That's why I feel like I can get away with all this stuff while maintaining my innocence. I will say that, like, I glimpsed kind of hell. And it's like, oh no, I don't want to be there. I have no idea what I'm fucking with. We see these news stories of like, why did someone just do that? That's, as Eminem would sing, it's like, double homicide and suicide with no note. Like, that's hell. Like, where did those souls go? I'm tracking down every one of those souls. Those acts, it's clearly not funny. It's clearly hell. It's like, I kind of glimpsed it when I think I'm invincible with all my brashy and unapologetic self. I'm like, oh shit. Like, no, I'm not gonna step one. Some things are irreversible, like that movie from 2002, which was shown at my college in the college theater. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I can see why people are walking out of that movie. At the same time, though, history is written in blood. All history is written in blood and sperm, man. Grow up, be an adult. This is kind of an NC-17 world. Not all people have an enchanted childhood, which my parents managed to gift me. For the most part, up to age, probably up to middle school. High school is kind of a nightmare. But that nightmare from Devil May Cry 3, a mare is a horse, a night horse. That is the greatest gift that Dante got. That nightmare was like, wow, he could stop time. That this night horse somehow is the gift of stopping time for Dante Alighieri, or Dante of Devil May Cry 3. The same Dante who could not budge the Dark Tower of Temen Negru, which is my personal favorite integer over 1 million. When I was asked this, how is Temen Negru? It's easily an integer over 1 million. You can just take the ASCII characters and get those numbers, and it's probably over 1 million. The number of atoms or quantums in the Dark Tower of Temen Negru is over 1 million. It's pretty crazy. Dante kicks as hard as he can to that Dark Tower of Temen Negru. Nothing happens. That's how strong. It's like, wow, even Devil Boy can't do jack to this Dark Tower Temen Negru. Sort of, I got into a interesting text messaging with a new friend, Timothy, and it's like, dark tower of Temenigru. And it's that song, we are all prisoners. If you read Plato's allegory of the cave, it is kind of quite weird. Like, what the hell is this? It's like very, very specific about how we're all prisoners in a cave, and we're all kind of like on our knees, and you know, we die kind of on our knees. We don't know jack of where we go when we die. And it's like, you know, we are begging when we die, or it's like wherever after death we have never traced a single soul, you know. So we're kind of in Plato's cave still, and then there's shadows, there's all sorts of hierarchy of humankind, and then it's like, well, it's like that song from Breaking Benjamin, we are all prisoners, things couldn't get much worse, you should have known by now, the Protoss will burn this whole world down, or I will burn this whole world. It's like, it doesn't matter when you have the kind of technology of the Protoss. 5 billion years, you know, this whole planet solar system can be recreated, and it would, you know, just fork another universe. You know, it's a species so advanced like the Protoss, species 8472, it can get within matter itself, and no matter how much the Borg try to assimilate species 847, it just cannot be assimilated. It defies the Borg algorithm of assimilation. There's no, they could have it there like for eternity, and the Borg still cannot assimilate Protoss, you know, species 8472. Are they the same? I don't know. This is all fiction, but getting back to nonfiction, I would say I have a playlist that's going like Kai Hayate Wannabe versus Sauron, and Melkor. So that's a little stop here to the Brashy, because for me to put myself out there in a 1 verse 2, just tempting those, they're not gods really, are they? Sauron is kind of a sorcerer. Melkor might be a god, but still questionable. There's 33 million Hindu gods. So 1 versus 2, it's not that far-fetched of a claim, you know? I don't see them doing shit. They can't do shit here. This is kind of like Elijah and Paul in the Abrahamic stories. And I will say that Baal is powerless. He might be a god, but he could not affect anything in Elijah's time. Just like Sauron and Melkor, they might have been Yeshua, Jesus Christ, and his pops, Archimond, but they can't influence anything here. I can't feel that they will. Even if they wanted to influence, they would be like, oh shit. Like they're in a karma trap, or they're all in all sorts of inconsistencies that they have to make into consistencies, and you know, they are so incomplete. That magic is so dark, and you know, anything can be so much darker than a soul can take. You know, I've kind of always had that in the back of my mind. Any of this can be way too dark for me to take, and I just sort of juggle that with everything else that I'm trying to juggle, like a jester. And then, you know, it's my attempt now at 1 verse 2. What is versus? Super Smash Brothers, karaoke practice. It doesn't have to be Mortal Kombat, or Immortal Kombat, or Godly Combat, or Angel Combat, or any kind of combat. Let me try this 1 versus 2. So let's see, Sauron and Melkor. I don't think I have a karaoke practice of this yet, so I have to do it. It being far over the misty mountains cold. This thing spoke to me so many years ago. Now let me try number 1 karaoke practice at this. Far over the misty mountains cold, 2 dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to seek our pale enchanted gold. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells in places deep where dark things sleep, in hollow halls beneath the fells. For ancient king and elvish lord, there many a gleaming golden hoard they shaped and wrought, and light they caught to hide in gems on hilt of sword, on silver necklace they strung the flowering stars, on crowns they hung the dragon fire in twisted wire. They meshed the light of moon and sun, far over the misty mountains cold, 2 dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to claim our long forgotten gold. Goblets they carved there for themselves, and harps of gold where no man delves. There lay they long the song was sung unheard by men or elves. The pines were roaring on the heights. The winds was moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread. The trees like torches blazed with light. The bells were ringing in the dale, and men looked up with faces pale. The dragon's ire, more fierce than fire, laid low their towers and houses frail. The mountains smoked beneath the moon. The dwarves, they heard the tramp of doom. They fled their hall to dying fall. Beneath his feet, beneath the moon. Far over the misty mountains grim, to dungeons deep and caverns dim, we must away ere break of day, to win our harps and goad from him. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old. He stooped and looked in mirror and saw a crown of stars appear, all mirror. Whew. Man, necromancy. I had a great conversation with my manager, one of the many managers, directors, chiefs, etc. And the conversation about necromancy. Each of us, necromancy, when we think about the dearly departed loved ones. Kai claims that no soul truly wants to be wrested away from loved ones. Yet, here we are in Plato's cave, prisoners. Not Plato's cave, but more Sargeras single-handedly built all of these prisons for the evils that the noble titans see. And we are all in this prison built by Jack Metallica, built by Sargeras. We are all in this prison with no eternal youth for now, and you could say the whole cosmos in general is a prison. Even for the noble titans, as in the Warcraft lore, that the titans and the voids were just going at it. And those noble titans, I'm just going to put out there, with all the kind of risk it poses by putting out there, that I am a titan rising. Sargeras, I have some of his essence, as we all kind of do or did. We all had or have or will have Sargeras's essence. However, some of us lose it irreversibly. Some of us cling on to it. I said in a work meeting that we can all try to be as tough as Sergeant Slaughter, Sarge. We can all be or try to be as tough as you, but cannot compare a titan the size of a planet to a phoenix greater than a soul, a star, whole star. You see that Marvel Comics cover where the phoenix is so much bigger than a star, trying to nova the star. And that was part of some more Marvel story, that the phoenix novas a star, trillions, bazillions of life are exterminated, and the phoenix has to go through a trial. What kind of a joke is that? As if like this is gonna go to a trial by jury in Americana. Oh my goodness. So titans the size of planets and phoenixes greater than entire star systems are going to be just kind of messing around as we go about our mortal lives. And gosh, man, the titans and the void rays know the voids. They know they're out. They gotta shrink back and realize their place. Like we humans, like little ants on a planet, gotta shrink back and realize we can't do what a soul the size of a planet can do, or the soul the size of a galaxy can do. We Galactus gotta shrink back and then be like, okay, so that's it for this karaoke practice.